On another Sunday night, ready for fun, boys and girls. Fun, fun, fun. That is our middle name here. Good evening. It's Sunday, the 15th of August, 2021. A very good evening to you, and welcome to tonight's little chat show coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire, boys and girls. Hope all is well. Weather's been all right. We've had no rain today. Bit cloudy, little bit of sun, not much. Did a little pick this morning, did a church thing, went swimming, had my lunch, went to the co-op to get some rolls. That's about it, really. Oh, and I made an appointment at Toyota. Ha! Toyota! Fuck! Pow! I made an appointment at Toyota. I'm going to go down the road of keeping the same sort of car as I've got now, but with less payments going out and no deposit. It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. I was talking to my dear, dear friend, Gary's best friend, actually, Paul McIlroy. You don't know Paul McIlroy. Okay, very delicious. It's about the same size. I was going to say the same size then. Of course, I wouldn't know if he was the same size as Mark Bowles or not, would I? You know, because I've never seen anything. But no, yes, he's about the same age as Mark Bowles, actually. He's Gary, my nephew's best friend. And I was talking to him because he's thinking about getting a new car, and he wasn't sure electric or hybrid. And I said, well, actually, I've been thinking about it for some time now. As I said, I test drove the VW. I wasn't too keen. It was very comfortable. Not keen on the shape. I prefer the Skoda. But I think we've got a little bit longer to go. Do you know what I mean? I think if I wait 2 years... If I wait another 2, I mean, there is, of course, the argument to say, you know, you keep waiting, you'll be dead by the time you get anything. Do you know what I mean? It's true, isn't it? But I think if I wait another couple of years, I think there'll be so many electric cars to choose from there, and the network of chargers will be even more than it is now. Because, to be honest, this whole charger situation seems to be a little bit complicated to me. I mean, it really does. There's all sorts of different chargers and the way they do the charging and all sorts of that. You've got to get your head around it, really. And the thing is, with the Toyota thing, it seems like such a good deal. Of course, there's always that thing, you know, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't. But it's not a massively great deal. It kind of makes sense to be getting a new car with less payments than I'm paying now. Do you know what I mean? So that's probably what I'm going to do. And I've got a meeting tomorrow with Toyota. Toyota! Tomorrow with the delightful... Please don't even... If you don't like it, go away, all right? Yes, with the delightful Dave, head of Toyota, tomorrow. He's not head of Toyota, but so that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. All right? If you're watching on the internet... which of course you are. Very good evening to you, gang. But if you're watching and you're trying to send me a message on the chat box, I'm not in the chat box, okay? Not at all. Never, okay? To send a message and join in the show tonight, please use the text message up there. I'm going to put a little arrow here so I know which way to point. I'm going to have to put a little sticker on there. Point that way, Chris, okay? A little text number up there in the top left-hand corner. Or you can send an email. Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk, and I come in and out of the emails as we go through the show. All right, my loves? That's how to contact me. So either send a text up there, 07451287337, or you can send an email, Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. I don't know if she's with us yet, but just before we were starting the show today, I had a little FaceTime, WhatsApp, Facebook type message with my sister, which I've just turned on the notifications on my WhatsApp thing. Because I'd turned them off, right, because I got fed up with the damn thing. Beep, beep, beep. Every time I get me, beep, 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 gets on my bleeding tits. It really does. So annoying. But unfortunately, it also seemed to affect the people ringing in. And I'd look at it and it'd be like missed call from Gary. Or my niece Tracy. Or my sister. There'd be a missed call and I'm thinking that phone hasn't rang. So I think by turning off the notifications, I also turned off the WhatsApp ringing. So I'm hoping that that's going to work now, as I've turned that back on now. And I was having just a little a WhatsApp call with my sister early, and she just got out of the bath. She said, oh, she's just finished moisturising her face because of the sun, where they've just come back from Cyprus. And I thought, blimey, I mean, how much moisturiser do you need on an old dinosaur? She must have got through pots of that stuff. Pots of it, dear. Moisturised, oh my God. Oh, you put so much on. It don't look any different. She still looks like a dinosaur. Can't believe it. You know those old crocodiles? You know when you see those crocodiles in the mango groves? Mango. Isn't he in Mango. Isn't he a member of Parliament? Mango. What's his name? Mango Go. Michael Gove. Is Michael Gove from the Mangroves? I don't know. You know those old crocodiles? That's how her skin looks. And she's spent about 4 hours now putting moisturiser on her face. Not happening. Nothing's changed. It just shines a bit now, but you still see all the wrinkles. And the reason is because she's very old tomorrow. I've no idea if she's watching or not. She's very, very old tomorrow. Old? Oh, Jesus. You know, I'm expecting to see a little message from the Queen or something. Oh, hi, Chris, because we're on first name terms, me and Liz. You know, don't call her Liz. She don't like that. It's all right for me, because I'm her friend. You know, don't call her Liz. She don't like that. Your Majesty. Actually, it reminds me of a little TikTok video I saw with Prince William. I think he's doing an interview on, like, some children, not a children's, a young person's radio show or something like that, or perhaps a podcast or something like that. And these two interviewing, he's sitting there like he's one of the lads. Prince William, this is very recent. And he's sitting, there's three of them in there. And the two people, I think they might be talking about climate change. They're sitting in there, the two of them there, and he's there as well. And they're like, well, welcome to our podcast. We've got Prince William here. And by the way, what do we call you? And Prince William says, oh, Your Royal Highness is perfectly acceptable. And then he just starts laughing. He said, just call me William. Yes, Your Royal Highness is quite acceptable. He goes. And they also, and he laughs first, of course, because they don't know whether to laugh or not. It's a prince, dear. You should be down on your knees in front of him. I'd do anything to get down on my knees in front of a prince. I really would. Anyway, so that's that. Anyway, so I'm talking to my sister on the phone, and it's her birthday tomorrow. And I'm expecting her to get a telegram from the Queen or something like that. Or maybe she'll be in the Sun tomorrow, you know, Britain's oldest woman. Send moisturiser now. Packets of the stuff she's got. Boxes of this stuff coming from Amazon. Every 5 minutes there's another knock at the door. They have to leave it outside because she's in isolation. 10 days stuck at home, which isn't bad for her because they do have a big house, but 10 days she's got to stay at home. Yeah, must be killing her because she's like that. She's the gossip of Woodall Spa, my sister. Oh, if you want to know what's going on in Woodall, you just have a word with my sister. Like that she is on the phone to people. It must be killing her not being able to go up and spy on the neighbours. The net curtains are twitching all the time like that. It's terrible. Terrible. Anyway, it's her birthday tomorrow. Now, she would tell you probably that she's about 56. Lies. She's in her 80s. Now, she looks a lot older than the 80s. And it's funny, really. A lot of people think I am old, the older one. Not true. She's the older one. She's about 85. But anyway, to celebrate her birthday, and I'm very sorry I'm not up there at the moment, we have already arranged a little treat when I go up there for her birthday. We usually go, last 2 years, I think we've gone to, I don't think we did it last year, did we? No, we didn't do it last year because of coronavirus. Coronavirus lockdown restrictions. But the years, I think we've done it twice. We go to this outlet place. I don't know if Rachel Wheatland's with us yet. We go to this outlet place, can't think what it's called now, but there's a McDonald's on one side of the road and this outlet place is on the left-hand side. What's the blooming place called? And it's got a garden centre, a wonderful garden centre where you can go and have an afternoon tea. Oh, it's lovely in there. The garden centre's lovely. And it's got a little pizza. We usually go and have a pizza. And then she goes out and I buy her a couple of things from the Marks and Spencer's outlet or somewhere like that. And it's a really nice afternoon out. So that's what we're, or morning into afternoon out. So that's what we'll be doing for her birthday. But we must sing to her, being as it's my sister. And otherwise I'll never hear the end of it. Ow, you sing for everyone else. Why don't you sing for me? Well, here we go then. Are you ready, sis? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sharon. Happy birthday to you. Yes. There we go. Happy birthday, sis. I expect this year she'll probably just want moisturiser. You know, gallons of the stuff. She lays in it for hours, gets out the bath, still looks old. I think there comes a point where you just go past it and it's pointless trying to try any longer. Don't you think? Anyway, happy birthday for you tomorrow, sis, 56-year-old. Always, if it's your birthday, do let us know, because I don't know, you know. It's no point waiting until the end of the show if it's your birthday, okay? And then I say goodbye and all that. And then you're on the chat, oh, he didn't wish me happy birthday. Oh, because I didn't believe him well, no, that's why. Idiots. Do let us know if it's your birthday, or indeed someone else's that you know. Perhaps you've got a little person in your house and you want me to sing happy birthday. You know I try and clean it up for the little people. You know that. Okay? No problem at all. Just let me know before. But don't pretend it's your birthday, because that's just stupid. It just means you're a bit of an arsehole if you do that, you know. And then you go on the, oh, I managed to convince Chris it's my birthday, and everyone actually thinks that you're an arsehole. So don't do that, okay? Because you will look like that, and when I find out, I'll make it look even worse for you. So there we are. Let's read some of your messages on the show today, and then we'll get on with it. Good evening to, there he is, the delightful Mark Bowles. Good evening, Mark. There we go. Let's have a little picture of Mark. We must get a new picture of Mark up there, I think, really. It's about time we got a new picture of Mark up there. Thank you, Mark. Evening to you. Good evening to Diane Jeb. Hello, Diane. Evening to Shania. Shania's got a new computer. Yes, her and her dad. Oh, Simon Humphries. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's the Simon Humphries Show. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I haven't got a radio station for that there. I think they're going to do internet radio. Yeah. By the way, have you done a speed test yet, Shania? Do you know how to do a speed test on your computer? Do that and let's have a look at what your speed is. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what the speed is. You want an upload, a decent upload. Upload about 4 meg, I think. You want about 4 meg going up, something like that. Have you done it yet? What about now? Do it now. What about now? Do it now. Just type in speed test and look for Ocala. I think it's Ocala. I think it's Japanese. I don't know. Ocala. Are they the same people of Toyota? I don't know. Ocala. Look for Ocala speed test. Do one and let us know what it is, all right? Evening to John Parrish. Good evening to you. Looked like fun at the karaoke on Friday. It was very good Friday. Very busy Friday. Sherry wants to come, only a 4.5 hour drive, but worth it. Worth every penny to come and see me, my dear. Worth every penny. Good evening to Charlie Ray is in the house. Charlie Ray is in the house, in the house, in the house. Charlie Ray is in the house. He is in the house. As it was birthday girl Paige as well, whose birthday it was yesterday. It was Paige's birthday yesterday. And she is a small person, so we must sing to her immediately. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paige. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, darling. What did you get? What presents did you get? Tell me, Paige. I want to know the presents. Did you get a cake? Tell me what happened on your birthday. Evening to Reese. Reese with his own YouTube channel. Reese Cars. YT is the YouTube channel. Good evening, Reese. There's Sherry Parrish. She's got her own YouTube channels. Everyone's got their own YouTube channels here. Everyone. Good evening, Chris, and all your viewers. Just letting you know that John and I are watching your show and loving it. I wish I was. Yeah, I don't like my own shows. Terrible, isn't it? Terrible. Evening, Sherry. Evening to George Bond. Good evening, George. Evening to Jason Hughes. Hello to Rachel Wheatland. Rachel, I saw a little post on your wall about an hour ago. Have you got coronavirus? My nephew's wife has. She's no idea where it came from. No idea. No idea where it came from. Have you got coronavirus, Rachel? I hope it's not too bad for you, darling. Chris says you're very naughty. Good morning. DJ Chris is in the house. Oh, you are very naughty. You know I'm very naughty, Chris. Adrian's there. Good evening, Adrian. It's his birthday on Thursday. Oh, well, join us for Tuesday's show. There is no show on Thursday, I'm afraid, because I've got a wedding to go to, which I'm kind of looking forward to. But the where it is the most difficult place in London to get to. absolutely the most difficult place in London to get to, known as Greenwich. It's the worst place to get to. It really is. And I thought about going by train. It's 3.5 hours by train. Because there's no direct from here. You've got to muck about, go into London, get a tube, doing something else, and then get the bus at the other end. By car, about an hour and a half, but then, of course, you've got the parking. £3 an hour, dear. £3 an hour. So that's about 20 quid in parking. Terrible. Terrible. How is it that expensive? Can't work that out. Anyway, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. But it is in Greenwich. And Greenwich is a really difficult place to get to. If you go through London, you end up queuing everywhere and trying to get through this damn tunnel. Oh, it's an awful place to get to, Greenwich. But there you go. So that's on Thursday. I'm going to Thursday, which means Thursday night there won't be any show. I'm still tempted to actually do it by train because I can't be asked mucking about with parking and then wondering whether I've gone a minute over and they're going to put like £100 ticket on it and all that business. Oh, it gets on my nerves. Paige says, Barbie clothes and money. Did you get a Barbie? Ooh. Who would you like to see made into a Barbie? I'll tell you why. There's this lady. And she, would you say invented or, I don't know if you say invented or discovered. Invented or discovered, one of those two. The COVID vaccine, the Astra spaceship one, which I've had. Let me just check my emails for you, see if we've got emails. Evening to Gary Ross. Evening to you, Gary. Evening, Gary. Hope you're well. Happy birthday to your sister Sharon for tomorrow. That's from Gary Ross. That's nice, isn't it? There we go. Thank you, Gary. Always nice to pass messages on. Yes, this lady who discovered, created, invented the Astra spaceship COVID inoculation. Okay, they've made a Barbie doll out of her. Yeah, they made a Barbie doll out of her. Here she is. Look, here she is. Hang on. Where is it? Barbie. There's Barbie. There she is, look. It's good, isn't it? Don't you think that looks just like her? I think that's really good, that. And the story, a Barbie doll, this is about a week old, this story. A Barbie doll to honour the woman who led the development of the Oxford AstraZeneca spaceship jab to fight COVID-19 has been created. Toy company Mattel chose Professor Dame Sarah Gilbert as one of the 5 frontline women working in science, technology, engineering and mathematics. And then it says STEM. What's that? STEM mathematics? I don't know what that is. To base 5 new Barbie models on. Jane Gilbert, she found the gesture very strange, but hopes it will encourage girls to pursue a career in science. And we're talking about a highly intelligent person here, of course. You know. and how lucky we are to have such people around us, really. I mean, how clever must you be to create something? What's her name again? Dame Sarah. How clever must you be to create something that saves people's lives that you inject into their arms? I mean, I'm just gobsmacked. Gobsmacked by that, aren't you? Let's have another look. The Barbie doll. You must get one. What one have you got, Paige? Thank you, Mark. What one have you got, Paige? Do let us know, darling. Which Barbie have you got? And that got me into thinking, is there any other Barbies that you could think of? You know, that perhaps they should create other Barbies. You know, who would you like to see as a Barbie? And they couldn't be people who are here, or maybe they're just dead or not here anymore. What about like someone like Princess Diana? Or is it a disrespectful thing if you would create a dead person? I don't know if that would be disrespectful or not to the dead person. Yeah, I think you'd want their permission first, wouldn't you? Do you know what? Which is a bit difficult if they're already dead. You know, but yeah. Barbie dolls or Ken dolls. What about Ken dolls? I didn't play with any of that stuff. I'm too I'm too man to play with anything like that, you know. I had electric trains. Proper man's toys, darling. And a bike. No Barbie dolls, Ken dolls. Little boys playing with these Ken dolls. Bit gay, innit? Dear me, no, I don't think so. But who would you like to see made into a Barbie doll? Any suggestions? Text them through 07451287337 is my text in number, okay? Or send an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. We'll open a phone line a little bit later on, and we can always go back to this, once we open the phone line if you want. Who would you like to see made as a Barbie doll? 07451287337, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Good evening to Paul. Evening, Paul. It's a warm evening. Yes, I've got the aircon on there. I must say, I did look at that earlier when the flap came open. There's quite a lot of dust, and I must give that a little bit of a hoover out and a clean, something like that, wouldn't it? Evening, Paul, and Joe as well tonight. Good evening, Joe. Hello to Rachel. Yes, Rachel has coronavirus. Sorry, Rachel, darling. Here we are to keep you entertained, Rachel. Do you want me to stay on air all night tonight? Shall I stay on all night just for you, darling? Huh? I'll have to disappear at 2 o'clock tomorrow for my meeting at Toyota. Oh! I think they should give out free karate lessons when you buy a car at Toyota. Just a suggestion. I think that could be a selling point, don't you? Free karate lessons. Good luck, Rachel. She's confined herself to the bedroom away from the husband and kids. Yes, interestingly enough, Rachel, presumably they've now all got to get tested. Whereas Gary's wife, my nephew's wife, does have coronavirus. She's tested positive. None of the others have. They've all been tested. None of them have got it. Isn't it strange how it picks people out? Can't work it out. But like you, she's not too bad at the moment. She says it just feels a bit like a chest infection on her. Okay, so that's where we are at the moment with that. Good luck to Stacey. I don't think she's watching at the moment, but hope she gets well soon. Evening to Peter Lake. Good evening to Peter in Woodall Spa. Sherry. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths. Oh, which is what I said, is it? I didn't know that. Very intelligent person she is, Sherry, don't you think, my love? Eh? I wish I had a minuscule amount of the intelligence that some of these people have. I wouldn't be sitting here, would I, darling? Aye? Thank you. Reese has been cleaning out one of his parents' and his friend's garage because he sadly died of cancer a few months ago. Sorry to hear about that. One of your friends, one of my parents' and friends' garage. Yeah, sorry about that. Died of cancer a few months ago, and we've been cleaning out his garage and loading up his old Land Rover, which is in 1,000 pieces. And yeah, some people like to take the cars apart, don't they? I know people like that. They literally like to take cars apart. God knows why you'd want to do something like that. My brother-in-law does it. They take cars apart, little bits all over. Oh, the floor. Bits all over the floor. And then how do they magically manage to put it all back together again? I don't know. Why would you want to do something like that? You just take it to the garage when it goes wrong. There you go, mate. Get on with that. Just give me the bill. Sod that. Yeah, I took my lawnmower. That was a job getting that back together again. Can't remember what goes where. Perhaps that's why it won't turn round properly anymore. Anyway, Reese has been cleaning out the garage, loading up his own Land Rover, old Land Rover, which is in thousands of pieces, into a van and onto a massive trailer. I have part 1 up on my channel, but I'm making parts 2 and 3 soon. So you can look at that if you want to. Reese Cars YT is the YouTube channel you want there for Reese's thing. I prefer Action Man more than dolls. Yeah, a lot of boys had Action Man. And little soldiers. Soldiers, either army type soldiers, or the soldiers with all the red and all the what do you call that? Like the soldiers, I don't know what you call them, like what you get outside Buckingham Palace with all the red robes on and the hat and all that. Those type of soldiers as well, aren't they? He says, I don't know who would make a Barbie if I could. And STEM, here we go, he says as well, STEM is the modern term meaning science, technology, engineering and maths. I used to go to a STEM club at school, but it had to stop sadly because of COVID. Oh, Sorry about that. Me and Dad have 2 Land Rovers in many, many bits, and both of them will be put back together soon. Well, don't mix the bits up. Don't mix them up, mate. I'm sure your nan knows what to do. Chris says, in your case, Action Man, you like to play with action men. Well, I've yet to find one. Well, there is one on here at the moment. Mark Bowles. Not seeing much action. Just the word man in there, I think, really. Paige, make Mark... That's a good idea. Thank you, Paige. Make Mark Bowles a Ken. We could make Mark Bowles into a little doll, couldn't we? Into a little a Ken doll. Yeah, but do they talk, Barbie dolls? Do they talk? Is there like a little string to pull? Oh, don't pull too hard, my darling. You don't know what will come out if you pull that little string and hanging out of a girl. Very frightening. Shania? Oh, Shania barely gets 1 meg upload speed. Ooh. Really? That might not do it, Shania. I mean, 1 meg for audio would be all right. Is it pretty stable? Who are you with? It might be an idea to see if you can upgrade that slightly. It won't cost that much more to upgrade your speed. Have you not got? You must have fibre on the island, surely. Have you got fibre on the island, or you can do it on 4G internet, which I do from our luxury waterside media centre in Lincolnshire. That's all over 4G. There's no wire there. It's all over the internet. It's clever, isn't it? Clever. George said, I'd like to see a doll of you, Chris. What, a voodoo doll, probably? Yes, a lot of people would make a voodoo doll, wouldn't they? Start sticking pins in it and doing things. Talking about sticking pins in, I've got this problem with my leg at the moment. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I was just talking to DJ Chris, actually, earlier on the phone. And it's like, now and again, it happens generally when I'm sitting down or I've got my feet up on my little footstool while I'm sitting there, sadly, all on my own in the living room, wondering what the hell went wrong. I sit there in the living room, and it's like someone gets a knife and shoves it in the side of my leg. Right, okay, it's the bit, so it's the side of my leg between my knee and where it joins my body at the top. So it's on the side, okay? I would say it's in an area of muscle, right? And it's like someone shoves in, and it only lasts about a second. Like someone shoves a knife in and gives me an electric shock. DJ Chris reckons it's what's he say it was called? He said it's neuralgia. Neuralgia? Neuralgia, I think he said it was. Stabbing pains, so I'm going to look that up later. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be a problem when I'm walking or swimming or cycling. Only when I'm sitting down, maybe I've got my legs up, you know, on my footstool. Only at that time, and it's horrible. There's no warning. It just like that. I mean, it might happen tonight. You know, if you see me jump suddenly, you know, either that's happened or Mark Bowles has suddenly appeared in the doorway. I don't know. Not nice though. Not nice. So yes, who's got the voodoo doll? Who's doing that to me? Is it you? That's the sort of thing John Parrish would do. He'd have a doll there, sticking pins in it. That might be what's happening there. One of you've got a voodoo doll. Someone who's not won the raffle, it'd be, wouldn't it? Talking of winning the raffle, where's my... Here it is. This was won this week. There's no raffle this week, of course, because we haven't got a show on Thursday. That was won by John Parrish, and he has donated this. He is giving this to the lovely Maureen. Where is Maureen tonight, by the way? Oh, she might be out doing a karaoke, mightn't she? He's actually given that to Maureen, which I shall be taking down to the pub next Friday, and saving me a stamp. Because actually it's like four quid to send that in the post. It's dear, isn't it? 4 quid to send that in the post. So thanks very much for that, John. Reese, let's have a look. The ones outside Buckingham Palace, Grenadier Guards. They look good, don't they? As little models. They do look good as little models, those ones. And the old style soldiers as well, of course, with the muskets. You know, those old type of guns that they've got there. Rachel says, I remember the green soldiers with plastic bag parachutes. Yeah, I remember those. Do you remember those? There was a little plastic bit on there, wasn't it? I love throwing them out of the top window. Now, as you know, Rachel's got coronavirus at the moment. Leo has been tested, came out negative. Kids had lateral flow tests, all negative. Is that the ones that come in a box? I've got one here, and I somewhere. Do you remember when I did that live on air? Awful doing that. Shania, like Callan Simon did with his back. Oh yes, no, yes. Remember that? Do you remember when Callan Simon, he was standing at the altar? He told us he might twinge a bit, you know, and he was doing something. He was doing the Eucharist, wasn't he? And he said it was something like, "The Lord be with you, and with you wherever." Lift up. I jumped out of my skin. I was watching it on the telly. Do you remember that? Lovely mass this morning. I don't know if you were watching it. She says that we've just paid for an upgrade from carrier pigeon to copper cable internet. I mean, I'm just wondering if you can upgrade where you are, or is that it? There are other ways to do it. I mean, if you've got one of the internet providers, you must have a good 4G signal on there from someone, surely. Whether it be EE3, Vodaface, or O2, one of those. There must be someone on there with a good 3G. Who is your network provider on your phone, as a matter of interest? Who's your network? You're probably using the Wi-Fi in the house at the moment, right? Here's the thing to do. I don't know who your network provider is. Turn off your Wi-Fi, okay? So you're working off the 3 or 4G, and then do a speed test on your phone, okay? And see what you get on there. So you must turn the Wi-Fi off on your phone first, otherwise you'll be testing your home Wi-Fi, okay? Turn the Wi-Fi off so you're working on the 3 or 4G, and then do a speed test on your phone, and then come back and tell me what that says. All right, darling? Be very interested to see, because you might have, if you've got a good connection there, then you may be able to tether through your phone. I think it's called personal Wi-Fi now. Personal hotspot. You might be able to do it that way, darling. All right. Chris says we need to make. No, I can't read that out, Chris. You never know who's watching, darling. Neuralgia, nerve pain, but it's very uncomfortable. It is quite uncomfortable. Yeah, you know, and it just happens now and again. I don't know why. John says it's called DJ leg, calls through sitting on your ass 24/7. Excuse me, when I was DJing, I was standing up at all times. I've got the varicose veins to prove it on my legs now. Thank you very much. Yes. Reese has got one of the men with parachutes. Also made a load of custom parachutes for his action men. Very clever, that boy. Very clever. And Rachel uses Tesco Mobile. Oh, I don't know anything about the Tesco ones. The four big ones. Okay, EE3. I mean, if you've got 3, I know how all that works. You're laughing. What's your network provider there, Shania? Adrian says, I can understand the pain. I get it quite badly. Where do you get it? Because DJ Chris tells me you can get it anywhere, those shooting pains. The only place I'm getting it is in the muscle on my leg, on the side. It's a weird thing. It's not very pleasant, and fortunately it doesn't seem to happen in bed either. It's when I'm downstairs watching the telly. Not that I like to do that very often, to be honest. All right. Okie doke. In our show today, the snowflakes are at it again. They're all upset. Oh, I can't cope. I'm a snowflake. I can't cope. What are they upset by now? This. They're upset by a smiley. How can you be upset by that? It's in the Daily Express. Bit right wing, but here we go. In the latest spout of confusion on how different generations use technology to communicate, it has been revealed that using the popular smiley face emoji may not be a good thing. Now, how many of you send those to each other? Come on, how many of you send those to each other? Right? I must admit, I use them as well. Okay? I don't use them to answer a message, more of to acknowledge it. You know? It's always a bit, you know, when you send someone a message and you don't respond to it, it's almost a bit rude, right? But just to respond to it and say, yes, I've got this, smiley face, thumbs up, something like that. Because sometimes, you know, you get a message and it doesn't always require a written response. You just want the person to know that you got the message. Well, offensive to these snowflakes, my dear. In the latest bout of confusion on how different generations use technology to communicate, it has been revealed that using the popular smiley face emoji may not be a good thing. Those in the Generation Z age bracket, born between the late 1990s and early 2010s. So I think that might be you, Reese, and be Ollie and Paige and Charlie. They are taking a stand against how millennials and above use emojis. Now, the good news is, kids, right? Those of you Generation Z, okay? The good news is, you lot and us baby boomers, we all hate the millennials. They are not a nice bunch of people. They are so full of themselves. So you're not alone. Generation Z and baby boomers, get together. Oh, yes, boy. Yeah, we are together again. We must all gang up on those, oh, so important millennials. Nobody likes millennials. Or they have been a right pain in everyone's bum for ages, the millennials. And now, of course, the Generation Zs are telling them as well. We're on the same side. We're on the same side, kids. Here we go. It says, in recent years, there has been an array of details, this is in the Daily Express, on how we use modern technology to communicate with each other. This has included not using vowels in text messages and never ending a sentence with a full stop on WhatsApp, with emojis now the cause of controversy. Now, I've got to tell you, I'm not a fan of texts. Never have been. I think... And it comes to something when someone sends you a text and it says, when are you going to ring me? Why haven't you picked up the phone to ring someone? I'm not a fan of texts. Never have been. Never have been. I like a phone call. I like to talk to someone on the phone. Used to get a text from, it has to be said, millennials. I used to get texted a lot from millennials. WUU2. Anyone know what that is? It means what you up to. Which means basically they're sitting at home bored and they've got nothing to do. So they fired off that to about 1,000 people in the hope that someone will ring them. Well, pick the damn phone up and ring me. I rarely respond to texts. I find them completely, totally and utterly impersonal. If you want to talk to me, I'm here on the phone. Sometimes I can't always take a call. And rather foolishly, the thing, I turned the notifications off on the WhatsApp, which seemed to affect the ring. I've turned it back on there, so hopefully people can ring now. It says, according to teenagers and people in their 20s, a smiley face emoji could come across as patronising. Now, what does this mean? Passive, aggressive and even rude. How does that come across as aggressive? I don't get it. How could you possibly think that's aggressive? If I sent you that, do you think I was being aggressive towards you? No, probably not. You know, if I came round and punched you in the face, that might make you think I'm aggressive. But a smiley face, where is that coming from? Where's that coming from? Who on earth thought of that? Speaking to the Wall Street Journal, so we're very international tonight. America, the Wall Street Journal, this Havezd Bishi, who is 21, revealed that she was stunned to be met with the emoji by colleagues after starting an internship at Brooklyn-based digital media firm. She said, I had to remember that they are older because I use it sarcastically. There are so many emojis and Generation Z can never take things in a simple manner. Well, you've got a little bit of a problem there, haven't you? Eh? So is this aggressive? Is that aggressive? Is it? Because if you think that's aggressive, I think you've got a little bit of a mental problem. How can you think a smiling face is aggressive? The snowflakes are upset again. It means you're happy, says Rachel. You're absolutely right. Your smiley face means you are happy, or you're sending happiness to someone. You know, you see me smile on it, certainly at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show. Don't I give you a nice smile? I try to. Because no one would be sitting there, none of you would. I mean, we've got few enough viewers as it is. But no one would be sitting there if I looked miserable all night long, would you? You wouldn't want to stay here. Or talking about my problems or illnesses or anything like that. You know, there's a bloke on TikTok, actually, who says on the subject of... He talks about the pity bus. The pity bus. And you've only got to open the Facebook and see how many people want to be on the pity bus. Oh, pity me, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, I'm not, and all that business. The pity bus, they love it. And what they want is for you to go on there and to, oh, what's wrong with you, and all this business. He calls it the pity bus. He said, do not get involved with people who are constant. We all get on the pity bus now and again, I think. I certainly don't, I'm sure I don't broadcast any of my pitiful type things on Facebook like some of them do. Oh, I've just split up with my boyfriend. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, that's wrong. The pity bus. He calls it the pity bus. He said if you get too involved with those people, they will bring you down with them. Very negative people. You've got to watch out for them. Very, very negative. And eventually, you will go down with them. And he was saying this, and after I watched this bloke, he's a bit loud. A bit like me, actually, but more in a more, perhaps, straight way, perhaps you would say. I think he's got a point. Yeah, by all means, listen to people. But if the only thing they're coming out with all the time is negative stuff, and there's plenty of them on Facebook, be very careful of those people because they will pull you down with them. You know, and he's got a point there, isn't he? What we need is more smiley faces. You know, how can you be upset by a smiley face? Anyway, that's the story there. Don't know what you think about that. Smiley faces means you're happy. I'm sure it does. Chris says Tesco Mobile is O2. Yeah, but I don't know, Chris, how it works when you're using an internet provider that is backing on to one of the big four. Because all the little ones back onto one of the EE, the big ones, EE, well, the network providers, EE, 3, Vodafone and O2. They are the ones that provide the network. All the other little ones, giffgaff, Tesco Mobile, Virgin Mobile, I mean, the list is endless. There's so many of them. They all back onto one of those networks. Now, I don't know if you're with Tesco Mobile, giffgaff, Wonder, do you get the same speeds as someone on 302 EE do? I don't know how that works, or whether you get a slightly slower speed because you're paying less money. Virgin Mobile. I'm not sure how that works. Okay? I don't like to pretend that I know. If I don't know how something works, I'll tell you. Not like some of these blokes on the YouTube. Have you seen them? Oh, Christ. They're bloody experts in everything, aren't they? Have you seen them on there? The ones on YouTube, with their own YouTube channels. You see them sometimes. They are experts on everything, aren't they? There's one particular... I don't dare reveal the name on this channel live. There's one. He's an expert. Whenever he talks about anything, he is an expert in it. Don't ask me. This is what I'm told. I don't watch any of those programmes. This is what I'm told by other people. Sherry, I love using smiley emojis. Yes, and you keep using them, Sherry, because you are a smiling, happy person. I know that. I love using smiley emojis, Chris, even on emails, especially when I'm happy with the service or when thanking them. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They just want to moan about everything. They do. And you know us, Sherry, you never hear me moan, do you, my love? Never in a million years will I ever moan about anything in this life. Perhaps the next one. Reese also says, I prefer being on the phone or in person than texting because you can't tell their tone of voice and the conversations don't seem real. And we have an argument on WhatsApp group in my class. I know lots of the young people, they have these groups on WhatsApp. Actually, this boy came up to me in the karaoke a couple of weeks ago. Oh, he was chatting me up. He was, what was he, 23? Far too young. He was 23. And he says, oh, so have you got a boyfriend? And I'm like, no, I haven't got a boyfriend. And I thought, oh, I know where this is going now. He says, oh, neither have I. He said, can I have your phone number? And I'm thinking, no, you can't have my bleeding phone number. You think I'll give that out left, right and centre, do you? God's sake, man. Only special people have got my phone number. Special people. That's special people. Look, see? It's not ringing now, is it? I'm just going to turn it off because someone will bleeding try and ring now. There we go. Only special people have got this phone number. Right? So I said, no, I've got... I said, well, you can go on Facebook if you want. And do you know what he said to me? Do you know what he said to me then? He said, how old are you? I said, 58. He said, no, you're not. I never lie about my age. No point in doing that. You always get found out anyway. No point in doing that. Not like some of these celebrities on the telly. Gemma Collins. How old is she? Oh, now there would be a Barbie doll, wouldn't there? Gemma Collins Barbie doll. Just imagine the size of the box. Is there enough cardboard in this country to make a box for a Gemma Collins doll? I doubt that very much. A Gemma... But just imagine the poor man from Amazon trying to carry that to your house. Poor Gemma. Gemma Collins doll comes with a year's supply of McDonald's. Oh dear, I'm so naughty. Anyway, so I said to him, I said, well, you can add me on Facebook if you want. He said, Facebook? He said, oh, I said 58. He said, you're not 58. I said, well, how old do you think I am? He said, about 40. I said, no, I'm 58. And his friend, he had a friend with him. And he said, you don't look 58. I said, well, how old do you think? He said, maybe 45. I said, no, I'm 58. And he said, well, I don't care. He said, but we're not on Facebook. I said, what do you mean? He said, we're young. None of us are on Facebook. I said, well, what are you lot on then? We're on WhatsApp. Can I add you? I said, no, you can't. Jesus, he was about 23. Honestly. Anyway, so I know a lot of the young people, they have WhatsApp groups. And I think they sit... I mean, I'm not on a WhatsApp group, but they sit there talking to each other. Sometimes I get added to WhatsApp groups and I stay for about 10 minutes and then I go again. It's like the Facebook groups. That doesn't do it for me. I've found when you're in a group of people and then they start rowing and arguing and you say the wrong thing to people, what's the point? There's no point. No point at all. So I'm off. That's it. I'm off. And, you know, sometimes, you see the list of the people in the Facebook group or whatever, and they're all decent people. You know, in fact, I was on one of the Reach presenters Reach on Air presenters. Someone set one of those up and there was all these people on there. I was on there for 10 minutes. I thought, I know where this is going to go. They'll all start rowing at some point. So I just came off it. Best to just do your own thing. Can't be bothered with people rowing all the time. Reese is saying, let me see, where did we get to in this? I'll start again. I prefer being on the phone or in person than texting because you can't tell their tone of voice and the conversations don't seem real. Here we are. And we had an argument on a WhatsApp group. That's what I just said to you, wasn't it? In my class, because one person sent something talking about someone else and maybe they shouldn't have. And then that person replied. Then they just started arguing and swearing in the chat. And then more people joined in. You see? Just what I just said to you. Joined in, and then someone's mum told the school and the police had to come and talk to everyone, but then the officer made me and a few other people come out with her to talk to her personally, but yet I was hardly involved at all. I said it was at the start, I was trying to stop it, but they just stopped texting in. And these are people who are 11 years old. 10, 11 years old, right? People swearing and throwing other people, abused, got no trouble because the person whose mum had contacted the school and given a few names, and a few of them were wrong. And people will only see what they want to see. This is the other thing, you see, right? How many times have you had a conversation with someone, you've given them information, and they've come back to you and they've pulled out one piece of the conversation, which is kind of nothing to do with it if you look in the whole conversation. How many times has that happened? No, I'm not into groups. Not unless it's at Chariots. I'm into groups in there, but not there. Clarissa's with EE. She runs everything off her mobile hotspot. Here, Shania. Clarissa runs everything off EE on her mobile hotspot. Even when I have travel around, it's brilliant. Laptop, TV and Netflix. Wonderful, Clarissa. That's how I do the show when we're at our luxury Waterside Media Centre in Lincolnshire. Oh, Shana's off to do the rosary on the Feast of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. She played it this morning on the organ. Ave Maria. I like that one. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Was that echo too loud earlier? Hang on, what am I doing here? Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Oh, I love that one. I play that on the organ, you know. Thank you, Shania. I'll see you back after the rosary, darling. Mark says, just give me a nosh. And what else have we got here? So that's that. Thank you very much. Where are we now? Oh, I must show you these pictures. People have sent in some pictures. I don't want to run out of time before I do this tonight. And Reese also says, for some strange reason, the boy whose mum it was that told the school he was heavily involved and then was in no trouble for some reason. I wonder why. Get off those groups, Reese. You don't need to be on those groups of people. They're just a pain. Oh, look who it is. Oh, hang on a minute. Gary Ross, you could have an Action Man toy of Mark Bowles. Absolutely. I like the sound of that. Yes, I like the sound of that. Ross Patzel is in the house. Good evening, Ross. Coming to you from sunny Norwich. Ba, 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 ba. Yes. Evening, Ross, who says, I'm very insulted by that smiley face emoji, dear. I must stop viewing you immediately. You won't be the only one, actually, Ross. We're begging for viewers here, dear. Begging. I'm on my bleeding knees. And there's not even anyone in front of me. God's sake. Ross Patzelt says, in other news, just back from a very enjoyable summer's day at the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Yeah, I do like to be beside the sea. Here in the premier place to live, Norfolk, swimming pool, fish and chips, and a £1 bag of mini Whisper bars and a punnet of strawberries, then play at park, then walk around Wroxham Broad. Kids tired, me too. Time for bed soon, surely not before I finish my show. How rude. I love your show, mate. Tar be it good, he says. Ross is with Vodafone for 10 years. He was paying £28 a month. Now Tesco Mobile, £10 a month. Here we go. And he gets the same speed. Works as well as Vodafone. So there you go. There's another suggestion for you there. I don't know if you was with us at the beginning of the show, Ross, but my friend on the Isle of Wight, he wants to do internet radio. He hopes to be on Reach, but you know there's just... The slots are just nothing there, really. So I'm hoping that someone releases a slot or something there at some point, because at the moment, I don't know if you can suggest any other internet radio stations perhaps that you've tried that work as well as Reach does. Can you think of any at all, Ross, that you could suggest to him? Ross says, I want a Gemma Collins doll to be naughty with. Oh, please, Ross. Oh, it make me feel sick. I don't know what's making me feel sick, the sight of you or her. It's like a double sickness. Can you have double sickness? I accidentally read out one of Mark Bowles' emails. You want to see the messages he sends me? I usually read them in private at night, to be honest, on my own. Send in your text 07451 287 337. We'll open the phone line as well now, okay? That's open as well now if you want to call in. 020 8144 3477 is my local London number. Remember, gang, that's not a premium rate number. Local London number 020 8144 3477. Good. Alrighty, what else have we got here? Good news. Good news. Oh no, we'll do that in a minute. Let me show you the photographs. George has sent in a photograph of a fire recently. Let me just bring up the email there. George fire. Now, whose fire was it now? Let me find that. One moment, please. Because he did send this in last week and we just haven't got to it. Here we go. Here is a picture of what it looks like after the fire at my sister's house. That's my next door neighbour's garage and shed there. Here we go. Look at that. Thank you, George. I'm pleased to tell you I don't think anyone was hurt in that fire, but look at the state of that, eh? That was George's experience of the fire a little time ago. Thank you, George, for sending that in. Much appreciated. George Bond's sister's house. That's the next door neighbour's garage, look. Did they have the insurance? Not everyone has insurance, do they, my darling? Terrible, really. Adrian says he gets the neuralgia in his feet, legs, toes and chest, so he gets it all over. Very painful. He doesn't like texting, very difficult with my dyslexia, and people don't help. I don't like texting and I find it difficult with dyslexia. People don't help. No, I agree with you, Adrian. I agree with you. I find texting is extremely impersonal, really, when you're in a personal situation, not like doing a show or something like that. All right. That got stuck there. Just a minute. John Parrish. Let's have a look. John says, those two puffs were on drugs, mate, thinking you're in your 40s. Oh, you look like you've been dug up at the karaoke on Friday. Very busy, dear, at the karaoke. Very important person at the karaoke. Got to keep everything running. Thank you, Mark. I've got to be so careful reading these things out there. Adam Croft will happily let you fill his slot, dear. Oh, I did him the other day, didn't I? I did his slot the other day, Adam Croft. Did you? He had a bit of a problem Friday with his equipment. He's done an update on his computer. Adam Croft's on Reach on Air Thursday nights, 8 o'clock. Excellent show. A lot of work involved in what he does. He does it with his missus. And he just done a computer update and it threw everything out, didn't it? Anyway, let's go to the phone. George is on the line. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
You right?
Yes.
Thanks for that photo. We managed to get that on there at last.
Yes. Because I was going to talk to you what actually happened.
Please do, yes. We can bring the photo back up while you're chatting away.
Yeah. What happened was the fire started with electric bike on charge.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it overheated, caught on fire, and the person tried to put it out with a hose pipe.
Right.
And is asthmatic, and all the smoke got in him.
Yes.
And I don't know if he's still in hospital, but he got sent to hospital.
Right.
Yes.
Was it a normal bike or like something from China, or where did the bike come from?
I don't know.
Yeah. You see, you have to be very careful, George. Never buy a cheap copy of a battery, like for your Apple iPhone or iPhones or mobile phones. Anything that requires a battery, always buy the manufacturer's one. Never buy the cheap copy, because this is what can happen. And that's why I wonder whether it was a manufacturer's bike or they just got a cheap version. You know, that being said, if you do have a cheap version of a battery, never leave it alone. I mean, charge it up while you're near it, if you see what I mean. Don't leave the house with the thing charged on, or maybe even charge it outside when you know it's not going to rain or something like that.
Yeah. But he had car batteries in there as well.
Did he now?
Yes.
Dangerous, isn't it, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, well, George, have you had a nice day, darling?
Yes.
What have you been doing?
Not a lot.
Have you not? Been out at all? How's your nan? Is she still around? Sorry.
Yes.
She all right, is she?
Yeah.
Good. Perhaps we could make a little a Barbie doll out of your nan. Be quite nice, wouldn't it?
No.
I don't want a little Barbie doll of your nan. It's a nice way to sort of remember someone, isn't it?
No.
No, not for you. Okay. All right, George. Well, thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Thank you for the information there. Bye-bye. There we are. Caused by a battery on charge, that fire. Terrible. 0208 144 3477 is my local London number if you want to call in. A line has become available. Banks of operators. 1 minute. Oh, where's my operators? There they are. Banks of operators are standing by to take your call now, boys and girls. 020 8144 3477. Just remember, you can only have one person calling in at a time. All right. I can only take one call at a time. So here we go. Who's on the line, please? Finishing 5-1. Hello? No, no one there. Try again if you couldn't talk then. All right, if you want to try again, someone finishing 5-1, we couldn't hear you there. Try again. 020 8144 3477 is my local London number. We've got some more photos here, actually, from John Parrish to show you this evening. This is the update on the house. They've been doing a little bit of decorating at John Parrish's house. There it is. Here we go. Oh, what a wonderful display of my stickers. He won the stickers last week. John says, just to let you know, we've received your stickers and we'll be framing the big one for our office upstairs. There we are. Look there. Look at those. I mean, aren't your eyes just attracted to the two stickers at the top there? Lovely. I hope they're real plants. I hope they're not plastic plants. Look at those. I'm very surprised how blurry those pictures are, John. A little bit more effort, perhaps, in your picture taking. Very, very surprised at the poor quality of those photographs. He says, I think Sherry and I are slowly getting the place to our liking, so I thought I'd show you Sherry's work because she's been doing the decorating. We love listening and watching your shows, including the karaoke and all the strange and mysterious noisemakers. Oh, I mean the singers. Keep it up, mate. I'm sure you'll be discovered one of these days. 58 is... I won't be discovered. Listen, I've had chances. For God's sake, I've been on BBC One 2 years ago. A year and a half ago now. And no one picked me up. No, this is no go no further. This is it. Me in a little room talking to half a dozen people. That's it. Not going to go any further. And if you keep telling yourself, oh, this can go, let's do this, you make yourself very unhappy when you don't actually get anywhere. So you just have to accept. And that's it. What's that expression that youngsters use now? It is what it is. This is going no further. Believe me, John. This is it. Man sitting in room or luxury media centre by the waterside in Lincolnshire. That's it. Not going to go any further, mate. Honest, it isn't. Keep it up, mate. Take care and stay safe. We can't wait to see the Butler's new dogs. Yes, they've got the new dogs are coming soon. My sister's new dogs are coming soon. She's very, very excited. There's Merlin. He's a Rottweiler. And a Springer Spaniel called, don't tell me, Dougal. Dougal. Like Dougal in The Magic Roundabout. That one. Yeah. Magic Roundabout. Very good. Hang on. Very good, The Magic Roundabout. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Right, what else have we got here? So we've done the two photos. I wanted to show you those photos. Let me just clear those down there so I know I've done them. And that, there we go. Let's get rid of that. There we are. Better. And do that one there. Okay. Put that one there. Me back on there. Right. 0208 144 3477. Oh, stuffed cats. Stuffed cats. Stuffed cats. Now look at this little cutie pie cat here. Little cutie pie cat. Isn't it lovely? Oh, it's all nice and asleep, isn't it? The only thing is it's dead. She had her cat stuffed. Do you want your pet stuffed when it's dead? Eh? That cat is dead. It's been stuffed. It was on this morning with Eamon Holmes, one of the best broadcasters ever. I have to tell you that. In the Daily Mail, they often have a wide variety of guests on the show. Eamon Holmes struggled to hold it together as taxidermist Chloe Lee sat with her dead pet cat named Nikki on the This Morning couch on Wednesday in a segment titled I Stuffed My Dead Cat. Do you think that's a good idea? When your beloved pet dies, I make no no fun. I make no fun if your pet has died, whether it be yesterday or 10 years ago. Pets are part of the family. I've had 3 cats here, and I missed every single one of them when they went. It's awful. My sister's had loads of dogs, cats. You probably have too. Even so much as, I don't know, a budgie or a goldfish, you know. Losing a pet is like losing a person. I'm sorry, it is. I make no fun of that. But would you have had it stuffed? Could you have your dead, stuffed pet sitting next to you? It's not doing it for me somehow, is it? Is it you? While the presenter remained composed, viewers were left traumatised as Chloe explained how she first got into the practice of taxidermy at 14 years old using a blunt knife on a dead squirrel. The young taxidermist explained to Eamon and wife Ruth that Nikki died when she was aged 16. That's the cat. Saying, I had her since she was a kitten. It was one of our cats that had her, so I had her die. So I've had her from day dot. I get so much comfort from the stuffed animal. I hated the fact of parting with the animal, burying them, and never seeing them again. Having her in the corner of the room made me able to stroke her if I really wanted to. She says it's great. I mean, I don't know, really. I mean, she sort of stuffed it in a strange way as well, hasn't she? She also revealed that she stuffed the cat herself, explaining in graphic detail the process and how she had a mental barrier to get over it. She said, because I've been doing taxidermy for a while, her being pretty, remembered and loved is what got me through. And we all love our pets, don't we? I think some people are better at caring for things when perhaps things are not going so right. I don't think I'm particularly good at caring for pets and things when things are going wrong. Certainly the second cat I had, Tiny, no, she was the first cat. She went second, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, and I knew she was terribly ill and she should go to the vets, but I held on and I held on and I held on. And of course, in all that time you're holding on, that poor animal is suffering. It's all very well giving out the advice to other people, but when it comes to it, can you follow your own advice? You know, but stuffed, I don't think I would have wanted to stuff any of my cats. It just seems wrong in a way. Does it you? Or what about people? What about people, you know? Once they've gone, perhaps you could stuff them. What do you reckon, George? You know, when someone in your life goes, perhaps you could have them stuffed. Anyone? That's what you could think of? Have people stuffed anyone? Do you know, I bet there's someone that's done that. I bet someone has stuffed their partner. Or a parent. Or so. I bet that there's got to be someone out there who's done that, isn't there? And there's... there's sitting next to them. I mean, in what state would you have them stuffed? What do you reckon, George? She says, I've been asked why she didn't have someone else stuff her cat. Chloe insisted, another taxidermist doesn't know Nikki like I know her. I have a close, good reference pictures of her. Mostly I saw her sleeping, so I wanted that position. Plus, her being my first cat, I was worried about doing open eyes in case I got that wrong. Chloe's been doing taxidermy for 11 years. So, and the story goes on. Anyway, I think Eamon had trouble keeping his stopping laughing, bless his heart. Oh dear. She revealed her first taxidermy project, as I mentioned, was a squirrel. She was 14, found a little squirrel which was dead outside. She said, I thought it's so beautiful, I can't let it go to waste. I had a really blunt knife. I think I was curious and I needed to want to preserve this little animal, drove me to do it. Gosh. In another awkward twist, celebrity chef who was on the programme could be heard trying to fire up a gas stove in the background ahead of her cooking segment, when Chloe was talking about the cats. God. Oh, I don't know about that. Sherry says, we need someone positive and happy like you on the telly or radio, like LBC, Chris. LBC's not for me, Sherry. You've got to be very intelligent to be on somewhere like LBC. Because and besides, it's not a particularly friendly... Well, it depends who's on. Clive Bull is very friendly. Steve Allen. But certainly people like James O'Brien, stuff like that, they're very political and all that. And I don't really do that stuff. People just end up rowing and moaning all the blooming time and all that,
This is the SMS text delivery system from BT.
Well, we can't do texts, I'm afraid, on that number. Someone trying to send a text on that number. Ludicrous. If you want to send a text, use the text number 07451 287 337. Phone number 0208 144 3477. Okay. All right. Yeah, LBC's not for me. In fact, Steve Allen has heard my show. Someone told me he's heard my show. And he said I wasn't for LBC, so that's fine. That's okay. You know, that's just how it is. It's just how it is. I do my thing here, and I'm happy doing it. Clarissa says, I have my cat Shamrock's ashes on my shelf, and his sister buried it in my garden. And his sister buried in my garden. Yes, I have cats buried in my garden. Actually, I don't suppose they're around anymore, you know. Don't suppose they'd be around anymore. Let's see if that... Is that a call now or a message?
SMS.
No, that's still a message trying to come through there. If that happens once again, I'll just block it and be done with it. Let's have a look. John Parrish. I loved my pet. I was told sleeping with them lowered your blood pressure. I did this and it died. Well, you mean it died because you were sleeping with it? Well, don't fart in the bed and hold its head under the covers then. It was a goldfish. God's sake. Adrian Richardson, Tutankhamun. Do you remember that song, Tutankhamun? Do you remember that one? Tutankhamun being stuffed and his mummy. Tutankhamun was stuffed. Did you know that? Ah. Chris, thank you, DJ Chris. I'm not reading that out. Evening to Jeff. It's our mate Jeff. Good evening, Jeff. All right, Jeff. Sprayed your weeds and watered the plants at Chapel Hill. Where is that with the caravan? Thank you very much, Jeff. They go so quick, those weeds. You go there 1 week, right? You spray them all, okay? Then you don't come back for 2 weeks. And then they're back 2 weeks later. Well, probably not the same ones, though. There would be other ones growing up. But those stones, don't stop them coming up. See, I don't think they've got like a... what do you call that? You know, you put a bit of something in between the ground and the stones. What's that called? Fabric? No, not fabric. You're supposed to put a sheet, aren't you? If you're going to put stones down, what's that called? A moist, not a membrane. Membrane. Is it a membrane? Aren't you supposed to put a membrane between the earth or the ground and the stones? I don't think there's any membrane down there. That's why the weeds keep coming through, don't they? Adrian says, my pussy always sleeps with me. It's safe. Yeah. His cat ain't dead, John. Fancy sleeping with your goldfish, honestly. Thank you, Jeff. Membrane, that's the word I'm looking for, Jeff. And love to Linda as well. I hope you're both well. Are you still at the caravan at the moment, Jeff, or not? Not sure if you're still there. I did pick someone up on the camera the other day. 2 ladies. Was that you? No, it wouldn't have been you. Was it your missus? I couldn't quite see them. My camera burst into life. I can see it from here. It's very clever. Chris, you know what they say, be careful what you wish for because it may come true. Well, I'm still waiting for Mark Bowles to come round. Never happens, does it? membrane. Thank you very much, Jeff. Much appreciated. He's been watering my plants up at the caravan there. All right. Good news. All creatures, great and small. Now, I'm not quite sure. Oh, he's back home now. Okay, Jeff, hope you had a nice time there. Wasn't too hot there, actually, at the moment, was it? I know your missus suffers with the heat there. All creatures, great and small. You, of course, probably remember the original series if you're of an age. But there was a brand new series last year, and it was really good. They've kept everything in it. It's lovely, and it's warm, and it's proper family viewing, and there's no shocks, there's no swearing, there's no rude stuff. It's just lovely and warm. There's a new series coming soon. Sadly, though, one of its stars died, of course. Diana Rigg. She was one of the people in it, so she's got to be replaced. And I have some very, very good news on the replacement actress. The Daily Mail reports Patricia Hodge. Do you not know who that is? Patricia Hodge has been seen in character as eccentric dog owner Mr. Pumphrey for the first time in new images from All Creatures, Great and Small, Series 2. Now, I thought her name was Patricia Routledge. But I'm looking at the photo, and I'm sure it's Patricia Routledge. You know, keeping up appearances. Oh, let's read this. I'm going to show you the picture. I didn't bring the picture up on the thing. I should have done that, shouldn't I? There you go. Now, do you not think that's Patricia Routledge? Or has she just got married or something? Is that Patricia Routledge? It says Patricia Hodge. Anyone know anything about that? Patricia, who's 74, which I don't know if... Is it the same person? She replaces the late Diana Rigg in the role, who passed away in September 2020. The star transformed into wealthy owner of Pekingese Tricky Woo. She relaxed in a cart while cradling the canine companion. Do you remember that overfed dog in All Creatures Great and Small Series 1? She donned the 1930s attire, including a tweed suit and a rakish hat in the image. So that's good news. I think she's an excellent actress if it's the same person. I'm not sure if it's the same person or not. I mean, I read it, and for some reason, I didn't see the surname there. Patricia Hodge. Hang on a minute. Let me just... Hodge. Patricia Hodge. No, it's not the same person, is it? Ah, I thought it was Patricia Routledge. I've got completely confused with that actress. It's not Patricia Routledge at all. It's Patricia Hodge. But she's famous as well, so that's good news, isn't it? With a new series of All Creatures, Great and Small. La da 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 da. I'll use that tomorrow morning as one of my backing beds, okay? Phone line's still open, 0208 144 3477. What a waste of £6 million. This piece of crap. Look at that. The thing on the left. Why, oh why, would you build something like that next to the beautiful marble arch? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, that's what they've done. £6 million that cost. I did have a story here. That seems to have disappeared as well. Not doing too well on my stories today. Where's that gone? Oh, it's all going terribly wrong now. One moment, please. No, there's that one. There's that. No, not there, not there, not there. Come on, where's that gone? Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Let's see. Have I just not opened it up? I'm sure it was here somewhere. Hang on. See if we can bring that out. Here we go. 3 days ago. Is that 3 days ago? There we are. £6 million this cost. £6 million. It's the thing on the left. The idea is you go up there and then you can look over. But the most ridiculous thing is the actual thing that people go to see in that area is the arch on the right-hand side. And of course, by building that monstrosity next to it, you can't see it now from that direction. How stupid is that? £6 million that cost, and the senior council figure has resigned. And I should blooming well think so too. He's probably pushed, I reckon. I reckon he was sacked. The 25-metre man-made mountain in central London was met with derision when it first opened to the public. Westminster City Council was forced to concede. Clearly it's not ready when the would-be tourist attraction was on that. They call that a tourist attraction. I mean, look at it. It's awful. Why, oh why, would you want to... it's just ludicrous. Now the local authority has admitted the price of the much maligned installation has spiralled, as it always does, to almost double the initial projections. And this always happens. Always happens. When someone wants to do something to do with government or council, I say, yeah, it's going to cost you £10 million, and then it usually ends up costing £30 million, 2 or 3 times the amount. Ridiculous. It says refunds have been offered to £6.50 to go up that. Why would you pay £6.50 to go up that? And it was supposed to offer panoramic views stretching down some of the capital's most iconic streets, but was brandished a trash heap by some visitors. Refunds were offered to paying customers after the local authority admitted to teething problems. What about the £6 million? What about the £6 million that you have wasted on it? Huh? What about that? The council leader said in a statement on Friday her deputy had resigned with immediate effect after a totally unacceptable rise in costs. I mean, it's just a load of grass. You could have had the army go around there with some spades and shovels and put some grass seed over it. That would have done it, wouldn't it? The mound opened too early, and we have apologised for that. It had become clear the costs have risen more than anticipated, and it's totally unacceptable. Our original forecast was £3.3 million for that. Even at that price. It just astounds me with councils and that, and the way money is wasted on these stupid schemes that they come up with. And the funny thing with the council, if you ever... I had business with the council once. One of my tenants moved out, and the council was informed that they had moved out. Okay? And this is about 2 or 3 years ago now. So that's that. Okay? Never heard another thing. Fine. And then someone else moves in, and the council are told that someone's moved in, and then they will send me a bill for the council tax period in which the property was empty, usually a week or 2. A bit longer if you're a bit unlucky at the time and you're having trouble finding a tenant. That's how it works. Right? Anyway, I'm sitting here one day, and the postman being, open this letter, bay leaves. Well, what's this? You've got to pay us £75 on collection of a debt. Oh, what debt's this? And it turns out something like a council tax bill for £25, right? Which clearly hadn't got to me. And then £50 for the bailiff's fee. So I rung up the bailiff straight away, immediately. Can you tell me what this is about? Oh, it's unpaid. I said, well, I haven't had a letter. Oh, I'm sorry about that, but, that's what it is now. It's come to this now, and you have to pay it. And I've seen how this bailiff's things work. I thought, right, pay the damn thing, get rid of that, and then take it up. So I paid it. £75 on the phone there and then, problem gone. Got problems now gone. Right. Got onto estate agent. They took it up. Council are adamant that they sent out letters to me, several letters. Nothing came here. And I know it usually works because I get the bills. There's two here at the moment. Now, these are for full amount of council tax because what's happened is someone's moved out of two places. Someone's moved in now and they clearly haven't got their bleeding arse into gear at the moment at council. So I've got two council bills here, one for £1,000 and the other one for £1,200. But that's incorrect because that's for the whole year. They should be sending the little bit that place was empty. So they've got that wrong. Well, the problem is with councils, you can't, they use, if you have a problem with them, they use your money to fight you, if you see what I mean. And in the end, we just gave up. We could not get that £75 back off the council. They wouldn't have it. So I wrote it off. Eventually, otherwise you go mad. You can spend an awful lot of money getting a little bit of money back. And sometimes it's better to just pay the damn bill, get rid of it, gone. You know? Well, we've seen this in court programmes and things like that on the telly, haven't we? You know, where someone's owed X amount of pounds and the judge said, look, well, we can try and get this back, but if you don't get it back, it's going to cost you thousands in costs. And sometimes, and I hate to say it, it is better to just, I think, right underneath it. Really is. We're going to close the phone line now, gang. Thanks for your, what did we get? 2 phone calls today? 1 phone call? 1 phone call today. Thank you very much for your phone call today. All right. Anyway, that's that story there. Ridiculous how they spend your money. It's like the BBC. The way they throw your licence fee around is just disgusting. Some of the stories I've heard of there on various news channels, especially Alex Belfield. You know, one of those things. Text here for... Hello, Tez. Tez is here. Mrs. Bucket is 92 years old. It can't be her then, can it? All Creatures Great and Small was on Channel 5 this evening. Not sure if it's the new series or not. Really? Oh, hang on a minute. Well, I didn't know that. Oh... Must have a look at that immediately. Watch now, Series 1. Ah, yeah, Series 1. They're still playing Series 1 at the moment. When is Series 2? Series 2 release date. Radio times. All right, okay. They reckon September. Oh, no, hang on. September. When? Towards the end of this year. Okay, towards the end of this year. All right. Fab. Oh, I love it. All Creatures Great and Small. It's one of the most lovely, warm programmes on the telly at the moment, I have to tell you. Any more texts? Keep them coming in. 07451287337. Is it acceptable to split the bill in a restaurant, but not in equal amounts? It's difficult, this one, isn't it? Because, and I've been in this situation myself. You've got 10 people on the table. A couple of them are knocking back the wine. And there's you on the end. Glass of Coca-Cola and a small meal. And there at the other end, 2 steaks, massive amounts of chips, having a pudding, several bottles of wine. And then the bill comes and you split it 10 ways. I'm always uncomfortable with that, but I do what everyone else does. It can create rows. Well, hang on a minute. No, I had this and this, that and the other. It's easier sometimes to just get your own bill. I mean, does that look bad, though, on you? What do you think on this? Is it all right to split the bill differently 10 ways, perhaps? Say there's 10 people at the table. And you're all eating different stuff, you know. I'd be having the cheap stuff, probably the burger and the chips. Someone else would be having, like, I don't know, a 10-ounce steak. And it does seem to be unfair, but when that bill comes, you don't want to be people to think you're being a bit funny, you know. You see, I don't drink, so I'm generally usually at a disadvantage with that sort of thing. The Daily Mail, a woman who refused to split the bill at her friend's birthday dinner because she wasn't drinking alcohol. Hello, that's me. Has sparked a heated debate about group dining etiquette. Writing on UK-based forum Mumsnet, the woman explained the cost of the food and drink totaled just £19 while celebrating her friend's birthday alongside 5 others. She said her friend texted a day later complaining that her refusal to split the bill equally and pay £40 had left the other members of the group upset. So I don't know where are you on this? What do you think? Many comments on the post reassured the woman that she hadn't done anything wrong and her friend is being unreasonable, but others argued she shouldn't have gone if she wasn't willing to split the bill, to at least contribute towards the cost of the birthday girl's meal. Where are you on this? Do you think it should just be split 10 ways and that? Or I think next time I go to one of these, I will say, you know, if it's all right with you, I'll pay my own bill. Because mine never comes to as much as everyone else. Or is that sort of not getting into the spirit of it? Is it not being sort of spirited by, well, hang on a minute, I've only had this, so I should only pay this? Or is that fair enough? What do you think? The woman admitted the situation had left her speechless, saying that 6 people had gone out for their friend's birthday. I was the only one who didn't drink alcohol, just a few lemonades. And you know how much drinks are in places. I mean, even the soft drinks. Saying that 6 people, I was the only one who didn't drink alcohol, just a few lemonades, she explained. At the end, one person said, should we just split the bill then? But she didn't say it as a question, more of a leading statement. She then got her phone out and split it 6 ways, came to just over £40 each. Well, I hope they left a tip. I think it's the height of rudeness not to leave a tip. These people who work in restaurants get sweet FA wages. They're on low wages, people in restaurants. And woe betide you if you ever go to America and not leave a tip. They'll be running out that door. They're on really low wages. Most of their money is tips. You are expected to leave a tip in American restaurants. Always. No questions asked. It is quite normal. It is a normal thing to leave a decent tip if you're ever in America. Otherwise, they come out at you with a chopper. Chop your heads off as you come out. She said, I'm sorry, no, you've all drunk quite a bit and I've had no alcohol at all. Would you mind if I pay separately? They said, yeah, fine, and the atmosphere was a little odd after that. We all went our separate ways after that. It wasn't a particularly expensive place, but not cheap food, very reasonably priced. But of course the alcohol stacked up the bill significantly. And this is the thing, if you don't drink like me... I've been messaged my birthday girl this morning to say I was really out of order and should have just split. Everyone's a bit upset. Am I being unreasonable to have not split? I felt like I was being fair. She also said she was opening her gifts from me in the evening, but I have had no words in a way of thank you. One response to the post admitted they'd been in a similar situation but would have split the bill. You see, I think if you're going to do it, you've got to tell them at the beginning, if it's all right with you, and just say it like that. It's all right with you. I'm going to pay my own bill tonight. Not in the group. Because I don't drink. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But don't leave it till the end. And quite honestly, there are also other people out there who will be in a group of 10 people. And because of that, they take the piss with the drinking. Because they know they're not going to have to pay for it all. There are people out there who do that. You know there are. Rachel said, sorry, if friends go out for dinner together, each should pay for their own. I agree, Rachel. Clarissa, in Yarmouth last week, we went to an American diner. We all had ordered together and we all paid separately for what we had. I think it's perfectly all right. And plus you get the receipt, don't you, Clarissa? You know what you've had. Burger, chips... ice cream, 2 Coca-Colas. prices next to them. You see exactly what you've paid, and you know that is correct. In a large bill, you say this, and I've been to these places. There's the bill, and it's handed to you with the £150 charge, fee, price, whatever you want to call it. And then you start, don't you? Okay, right. Who had the chili con carne? Right. Did someone have garlic bread? Did you have garlic bread? Who had the pot roast? Someone have a pot roast? Anyone have a pot roast? Excuse me, we got a pot roast here. It's not. Stuff can get added, and you wouldn't know, because you just wouldn't know, and then arguments break out, don't they? I think you're absolutely right. You're always saying this. Rachel and Clarissa in Yarmouth last week, we went to an American diner. I like American diner. We all had orders together and we paid separately for what we had. I think it's excellent. Talking of American diners, my favourite is Denny's. Dennys. Oh, yes. Oh, Clarissa, if you ever go to America, you've got to go to a Denny's for breakfast. Do not eat for 2 days before. It's just like this. You get these pancakes, they're like that. Just covered in maple syrup and butter. Yes. And then you have your English breakfast after that, or before that. I can't remember what way round it is now. Lovely. Sherry, I'd rather pay for my own bill here in the UK, Chris. In the Philippines, it's a bit different, as we share our food with each other, so splitting the bill is not a problem, see? But I don't think it's so much the food, Sherry, it's the drink, you see. You know, if you're not drinking and someone else is drinking a lot, you're paying half their bill. It's not fair, is it? It's not fair. And John Paris says, I always pay the bill, as can't be asked with all the bickering. Needless to say, only Sherry and I go out alone. Yeah. Yeah, and you do get bickering, don't you? Hello to Joe McDonald. Evening, Joe. Nice to see you, Joe. Hi, Chris. Lovely to see you again. Karaoke, how's it going? It went very well on Friday. It was the busiest we had Friday. It's going very well, the karaoke. Perhaps you'll come and see us, dear. Friday night, upstairs bar, on the big stage, although the lights are not working too well at the moment. I don't know what we're going to do about that. Joe says, I would rather do a dine and dash. I can imagine you doing that. Ross, when you die, we could stuff you and put you on your chair and put repeats of your show on, so it's like you're still there. Ross. That took a while to come through, that email, didn't it, eh? I don't think I want to be stuffed. Well, there's Mark Bowles, of course. Thank you very much. Right. Where are we going now? Can I borrow your garden? Clarissa, American breakfasts are the best. I love Shoney's in America. I don't know Shoney's. And John, I remember back in the day, we'd all buy a round of drinks. But if a guy had his girlfriend with him, she'd have an orange when her man was paying. But gin and tonic whenever us guys bought around. Yeah, that'd be right, wouldn't it? I love those American breakfasts. They're amazing. When I took my nephew there, about 5 years ago now, that is, to Florida, we went. We had breakfast in the hotel, but that was pretty basic. You know, it was your choice of cereals, Frosties and toast, and I think they had cakes and things like that. And that was the breakfast. If you wanted a proper breakfast, you went out, and we did go to Denny's once for breakfast, and he ordered stuff, and he looked at me, and he said, I can't eat all this. But he did. That's a great holiday that was in Florida. Fortunately, I've got videos of that up on YouTube within the United Kingdom talk lists. Oh, I don't ask me where they are, though. They're within the videos somewhere, me and my nephew. His girlfriend's having a baby. I think it's September, October time. Yeah. Oh, blimey, tinnitus has just come on big time. High-pitched noise, and it's gone. There we go. It didn't last long, did it? Right, what else have we got here? Can I borrow your garden? What a cheek this woman had. Again, it's a Daily Mail once again, gang. Let me see if I've got a picture on this one. I haven't got a picture on this one. Hang on. We've done Barbie, George, Smiley, Marble Arch. Oh, we've done all the pictures, haven't we? There we go. Good. Yeah, a woman has told of her shock after discovering her neighbours climbed over her wall to use her garden while she's at work. What a cheek! Well, I hope that doesn't happen here. It'd be a terrible thing if, weed-smoking chavs jumping over my fence and using my garden. I wouldn't know where to look. The anonymous woman from the UK lives in a house next to a block of flats. Explained how she started to grow suspicious after noticing things had been moved around in her garden. Might be the gnomes. They're alive, gnomes. Yes, they are. Gnomes are alive. Have you got gnomes in your garden? They come awake at night and they do things in your garden. Anyway, so this lady, she decided to install an outdoor camera. I've got those. An outdoor camera under her guttering to try and get to the bottom of it, with footage revealing her neighbours had been sitting in her garden for 6 hours and even used her garden furniture. Talking to the comments section on some group, one person wrote, "I can't believe the nerve of some people," while a second penned, "This is too cheeky. How can they sit there on someone else's grounds relaxing, knowing you could come home at any time?" In the initial post, the angry woman wrote, "I've come home tonight after work. I worked the late shift and found 2 cigarette butts on my path by my seating area. How blooming rude is that? To leave your cigarette butts in someone else's garden? Well, you shouldn't be in the first place. I checked the camera and my neighbours have climbed my wall and been sitting in my garden from 2 o'clock until 8 o'clock using my seating and table." Wow. She went on to say that the culprits lived in the flats next to her house, but they don't have a garden or courtyard, before pointing out there's a park on the other side of the house with large areas of grass that they could use. The frustrated woman believes they've been doing it since the sunny weather started and are clearly able to see when she's out because the car is not in the driveway. What a blooming cheek, innit, eh? Wow. And then people suggested how they could make it harder for other people to get in the garden. You ever come across anything like that? Isn't that weird? Barbed wire, perhaps, would be a good idea, wouldn't it? You put barbed wire around your fence to stop the neighbours getting in? What a cheek. That's the garden story. Whose packaging do we find most as litter? Here's a question for you. I don't suppose any of you do litter picking. That's something that I do. I enjoy doing it, to be honest. I did one this morning. Got a whole bag, like a dustbin bag, like one of the black bags, except they're red. One of those, completely full of litter today. I managed to pick up in about an hour and a quarter. It's a route that I haven't done for a while, so that's why. But what litter do you find on the ground more than anything else? Is it Coke bottles? Walker's crisps, McDonald's? Trouble with the McDonald's bags is that one bag can create an awful amount of litter. Because these people eating it, they'll be eating it in the car generally, I think. And they'll have the burger, chuck the burger wrapper or box out the window. It's all very well you saying, "Oh, it's okay, it's cardboard, it will disintegrate." Yeah, not for a few weeks it won't. And it sits there on grass. I can't stand it. I go and pick them all up with my litter picker. An actual fact, and I hope they're not watching, I'm going to let you into a little secret here. I have purchased great niece Evie and Harry their very own litter pickers and high-vis jackets. Because they like litter picking. They know I've been doing the litter picking. And Evie said to me, she's 9 now, "Can we go litter picking with you, Uncle Chris?" So I've been going around the house in Lincolnshire, not here at the moment. I'm not there at the moment. in Lincolnshire. I've been going around the house with my litter picker and a bag. And first of all, Evie does a bit. And then 10 minutes later, you have to make sure they get exactly the same time. Otherwise, they start rowing. Uncle Chris, she's had it for more than 10 minutes now. Or Evie, you know. Is it my turn yet? Is it my turn yet? It's 10 minutes past. It's like that all the time. You have to give them exactly the same amount of time. They row. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. We'll be playing a game. They might have a game out. So Evie has set up the game. Okay. And Evie might have a... Harry hasn't decided he wants to play yet. So Evie might have the red counter. Okay. What counter do you want to be, Uncle? I'll be green today. I'll be the green counter. And Harry, can I play? Yeah, of course you can play. What colour do you want to be, Harry? Evie's red. I want to be red. It's like that all the time. So with the litter picking, you have to give them exactly the same time period, right? I haven't got to do that anymore. And we go out. We go out, and I just walk. I don't do anything really. I just walk with them, make sure they're not too close to the road. Very important. It's a fast road, really. So I make sure they don't go anywhere near the road. But now they've now got their own litter pickers. So I've got 2 little litter pickers downstairs and 2 high-vis jackets. So now I'll be able to do it as well. Well, I probably won't get to the litter. They'd probably fight over the litter. That's the thing. Oh, there's a can. You can just see it now. Have I made a mistake here? Actually, I've just thought about that. They're going to see one can and they're going to row. Who's going to pick up that can? Aren't they? I never thought of that. I know what I can do. Okay, you're doing cans today and you're doing bottles. There you go. That'll work, won't it? That's how you have to... If you've got little children, you'll know exactly what I mean. Huh? So I'm looking forward to doing that. But what rubbish do you find where you are? When you look around, is there a particular type of rubbish or a particular firm, company? Like, not plastic bottles, Coke bottles, White's bottles, Budweiser cans, Walker's crisps. What do you find near you? Because the Daily Mirror has reported the top 12 firms whose packaging is found in most rubbish across the UK, with Coca-Cola topping the list. That's the one you're going to find more than anything else, according to this story. It says nearly 2/3 of bottles, cans and other branded packaging littering parks and beaches comes from a dirty dozen of 12 firms, campaigners say. Coca-Cola claimed the top spot for rubbish found in a nationwide litter pick by 4,000 volunteers. And with pubs shut for much of past year and a half, beer cans and bottles surged into the top 10s of items found as lockdown drinkers took to party in the parks and beaches instead. And my God, certainly it's not so bad now, to be honest. It really isn't. But from last May, when I was going over the forest, the amount of cans and bottles I would find over there was quite astounding. In the forest. These are, of course, people that don't usually go over there, you see. Dirty, disgusting filth who drop their crap for everyone else. And even, what's her name? Patsy from Absolutely Fabulous. What's her name? One beautiful lady with the blonde hair. I mean, she was on there once, you know. She said it's the one thing that really got her bugbear in. People that drop litter. Who the hell do they think picks it up? I've done it again today. A whole bag and a half. Bottles and things chucked on the side of the verge. It's disgusting. Beer firm, who owns Budweiser, Corona and Stella, were in third place behind Pepsi Cola in the list, compiled by the charity Surfers Against Sewage. Bottles and cigarette butts also accounted for just under half of the unbranded pollution at 48%. Terrible. Walker's, McDonald's, Cadbury's, loads of Cadbury's wrappers, Cadbury's, Tesco's, Lucozade, Costa Coffee, Mars, Wrigley and Haribo all made repeat appearances in this year's list. And I can look at that list there and tell you they're bang on with that list. They are the ones that I found more than anything else. And I just don't understand how I can find a Costa coffee cup in the middle of the forest. Because had you have bought that from Costa, which is in town, it would have taken you at least an hour to get to that place by car to the forest and then to walk to where I walk to find this stuff. By which time it would have been stone cold. It's a brand, they call it a brand audit. Here we go, the Dirty Dozen. How much of each of these companies' products were found? Top of the list, Coca-Cola, 16% of their stuff. To be fair to Coca-Cola, plastic bottles, probably the worst thing. Glass bottles, a very close second. Tins. The thing is with tins, I have found tins that are half disintegrated. So tins do appear to disintegrate into the ground. That's assuming, of course, they haven't got a plastic coating in the side, which some of them have now. Tins do appear on their own to disintegrate. So I don't think they're too much, certainly not as bad as the problem of the plastic and glass bottles. But Coca-Cola, 16%. What else would they put them in? It can only be bottles or cans. They can't exactly put a fizzy Coca-Cola in some sort of cardboard thing like you would with milk, for example. But even with milk, you know, they put them in those cardboard things, don't they? Those glossy cardboard things. I don't know how well they break down. But the plastic, they've got plastic lids on. You know, the little plastic thing on the top. What is the use of that? Surely it was better. You just used to squeeze them and pull the spout out, didn't you? No, they've now got a plastic thing on the top. Pepsi Cola, 9%. Those beers I told you about, made by AB InBev, 8% of those. McDonald's, 5%. Surprising, isn't it? 5% McDonald's. And as I was saying, with the trouble with McDonald's, they have the burger, that's out the window. They drive along a bit before they finish the can, the paper cup of Coke, that's out the window. The apple pie, and then along a road, you can see it. Listen, if you find one item of McDonald's on the road, you know further down there's going to be other bits. And even when these kids, no, that's incorrect. That's wrong. People, not just children doing this, not just young people. It's adults as well. Alpha males usually, so important, aren't they? Alpha males. They sit there, they have their bag, and even those who've got the sense to put all the stuff in one bag, and then they chuck the bag out the window. Another car comes along, drives over the bag, and there it is, all over the place. Rubbish everywhere. It's terrible. It's really terrible. McDonald's, 5%. Mondelez, I don't know who that is, 5%. Heineken, 4%. Carlsberg. I seem to find a lot of Carlsberg cans along the river Witham, near our luxury waterside media centre. Seem to always find Carlsberg ones there. So it's got to be the same person, isn't it? And if I find one there, there'll be another one there. And you always find 4. If you find one, there's going to be another 3 close by somewhere. And then the little ring things on it. I've learned all this since I started doing this. Haribo, I do find a lot of Haribo packets, 3%. Audi, interestingly, Audi products 2% and others 35%. So that's what they find there. What do you find? Reese says that around where I live, it's covered in McDonald's because there's a McDonald's on my estate. Teenagers are everywhere as well. And McDonald's are so sick of it that I think they're going to try and make it so that if you're under 18 or something, they might not let you in unless you are accompanied by an adult. But I'm not sure if that's enforced or not yet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, really. Will that, Reese, will that make any difference? I'm sure it's not just the teenagers doing it, you see, that's the thing. And McDonald's, I think they do send people out, you know, around their shop, picking people's rubbish up, which they shouldn't have to do because people shouldn't chuck it down. But what they can't do is send people right out, like miles away, when they've just got in their car, shoved their fat faces with a McDonald's, and then just slung it out the window. That's what people do. Thank you, Clarissa. Joanna Lumley was the lady I was trying to think of there. Well done, my darling. All right. Bad news. You've got a landline phone. The Sun is reporting traditional landline phones are going to be axed. When do you think that's going to happen? 10 years? No. 4 years. 2025, it says here. Traditional landline telephones will reportedly be consigned to history from 2025 as part of a major digital upgrade. Have you still got a landline phone? I haven't. I got rid of mine a couple of years ago, saved the money, whatever it was. Saved the money. Got my broadband, that's all I need. Got a mobile phone. Got Skype if I want to call out from that if I want to. The move has been compared to the switch to digital in 2012 when broadcasters stopped transmitting traditional analogue signals to household aerials. But the switch to digital calls is now being driven by the telecoms industry. It will involve services relying on the existing telephone network, such as alarm systems, phones in lift, payment terminals, and iconic red telephone boxes. They reckon the switchover will be complete in 2025. And it will work easily on the most basic broadband connection. So it's going to work on your broadband. You probably know there's a setting on your phone. So if you haven't got much of a signal, you can use your Wi-Fi to work it. Did you know that? Although it doesn't always work that well. I noticed it doesn't work well for me. I used to get people telling me they couldn't hear me properly. It's a shame to lose those phones. Your actual phone line is going, it says here. It says it's feared it will also impact people who cannot get mobile phone or internet in remote and rural areas. Not everyone wants the internet. My aunt hasn't got the internet. She's just got a bog standard telephone phone. So she'll be affected by this. I've never managed to get her to answer them. She's got a mobile phone, it's never on. Sad, isn't it? Many use the internet on their mobile phones via wireless services, while about 500,000 households do not own a mobile, let alone a smartphone. Ofcom has stressed that telecom providers must provide free mobiles and battery packs if there's a power outage. Well, what are they going to do? Come round to everyone's house? Oh, it's terrible. But I guess just things move on, don't they? Times move on. There'll be a day when I don't think we'll have announcers and things on the telly. That'll all be, it's going that way now, isn't it? A lot of the young people, they don't watch telly when telly is on. Even I don't, really. I haven't watched The Wheel yet. Don't need to sit there on 8 o'clock on a Saturday night in front of the telly. Anyone see Casualty? That was quite good this week, wasn't it? Casualty. Poor doctor. He wasn't very well. Evening to Colin. Evening, Colin. Sounds like you're a great uncle in name and also in nature. I hope so. We'll all be going out litter picking, keeping the streets of the UK cleansed. Really nice to hear about all the time you spend with your family in Lincolnshire. Inspiring and uplifting. Are you still on thinking about moving there at some stage, or did you put that on hold for now, says Colin? Certainly on hold for now. Whether that will ever happen, I don't know now. You see, because I quite like it here. I actually had the estate agent come round here, and by the time he left, he had actually sold my own house back to me. It's nothing special, this place. Well, it is special to me. If you was to come here, you would think it was a bit dated, because that doesn't bother me. I don't need everything modern, and that doesn't. I just want somewhere that's warm and comfortable, and that's it, really. I don't need mod cons or brand new kitchens and stuff like that. As long as everything's working, it doesn't bother me. You know, there's no up lights here or anything like that. I've just got box. Not in here. I have special lights in here for this TV thing, for this video stuff. It's just normal lights in the middle of the ceiling and that. You know. Now and again, I might change a carpet or decorate a room. You couldn't say this house was modern. Not at all. Not really. But that doesn't bother me, you know. But I have everything here. I can walk everywhere. I can walk into town. That's the longest walk, 45 minutes each way. Nice walk, actually. I can walk all the way into town. I've got a co-op, 10 minutes walk away. Audi, 15 minutes walk away. Swimming pool, 25 minutes walk away. Church, 45 minutes walk away, or 30 minutes cycle. If I go to the one I go to is 30 minutes on a bike. That's it. If I want to go to Wokingham, that's really nice. 30 minutes. I can walk into the forest from where I'm sitting now. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I've got everything here. Everything here. The two places are very different, Lincolnshire and Berkshire. Very, very different. Where Lincolnshire is very flat and it's very beautiful. Walking along that river. I have the best of both worlds, really. I'm very, very lucky. Very lucky. All right, you know, so the house is a bit old inside. The caravan is certainly not a new caravan. You know, it's one of the older ones on the site. But, you know, as long as it doesn't let the water in and the floor doesn't got too soggy, which is a bit of the floor's a bit dodgy at the moment, again, quite near where the other problem was. What we've done there is say there's like a dark patch. There's like a patch where it's obviously got wet. So Gary, my nephew, he said draw a line around it, which I've done in ink. Oh, now we can see if it gets any bigger or not. And if it doesn't, just fix that, done. If it does, there's clearly water coming in somewhere. And that's the thing that bothers me more about that than anything else, the water coming in. I know why that's always bothered me, right? Shania's back from Rosary. That was a long one tonight, Shania. What a long Rosary you've done tonight, darling. Why such a long Rosary, my love? Is there some reason for that? Thank you, Shania. One more story, gang. Doctor Who. Ollie Alexander. Now, you know I like him. Ollie Alexander. He did It's a Sin with Elton John on that programme a few weeks ago, didn't he? Very good. What? They've all been saying that he might be Doctor Who. The Sun reports Ollie Alexander has finally broken his silence on whether he'll be replacing Jodie Whittaker as Doctor Who. Well, if he does, perhaps can we not have the preach in it as instead? And can we go back to having stories about monsters and things? Because that's what Doctor Who was all about. Not the BBC preaching and telling us what to do, say and think all the time. Sick of it. Ollie was rumoured to reportedly thrashing out the final details with BBC bosses to replace Jodie and become the 14th Doctor. But the Years and Years star today put those rumours to rest on the Capital Breakfast Show with the delightful-looking Roman Kemp. The pop star was chatting to Roman when they played him an audio clip from the 13th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. The clip was Peter's response to the question over whether he thought Ollie would be a good fit to play the famous Doctor. Peter said in the clip, well, I think it's great. It would bring some of his pop costumes. That would be good to have the Doctor Who dress like, because he dresses very cool. Ollie responded, oh, that's nice. What do they mean by pop costumes? That's how he dresses. Pop costumes, he said. Then Sonny, who was in the interview, he said, yeah, are you going to be playing the Doctor? And Ollie responded, no, and love. So it's not going to be Ollie Alexander playing Doctor Who. I'm very sorry. Very sorry to reveal that to you. Shania's had the chat, did the Litany of the Blessed Virgin Mary. She's been busy at the Rosary. Very long Rosary group tonight. Over an hour, that is, Shania. Your place is assured in heaven, my darling. Heaven. I wonder if DJ Sammy will be up there at the time singing along with you as well. Da 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 da. That one, yeah. Huh? Rachel says you certainly are very lucky. There are people out there who only have a doorway or a shed. You're right. You're right. Oh, I see those in the news, don't we? It's weird, really, Rachel. Some people choose to live like that. I know people that have worked with Samaritans and things like that. And they actively go out and seek people who are homeless and offer them like a hostel, but no, they prefer to sleep out on the streets. Don't know why you would prefer to do that. But one of those things, isn't it? I'm very lucky indeed. I always think that to myself, how lucky I am to have my own house. Clarissa says Jennifer Saunders would be great as Doctor Who. Yes, she would, wouldn't she? Jennifer Saunders. I'd like to see that, Clarissa. Well, it's time for me to go, boys and girls. Thank you very much for joining us for our Sunday chat show. We'll have another one for you on Tuesday at 8 o'clock on this channel. Okay, Tuesday, our next show, 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. Tomorrow morning, I'll be with you on Reach on Air. Okay, it's my sister's birthday tomorrow. All right, just after the 9 o'clock news, there I'll be playing music and chatting rubbish like we usually do, and hopefully having a laugh with each and every one of you. I think Alan Ross is back on Reach tonight, and if he is, he'll be starting with you at midnight. Thanks for joining me, gang. Have a lovely Sunday. If you could just click the little like button underneath the picture there as you leave us, and that's much appreciated to help the YouTube algorithms. Remember when I couldn't say that word? Algorithms. I don't want to have dinner now. I don't want a big dinner. I might upset my stomach. Perhaps I should just have a banana and the apple. I've got some lovely rolls downstairs. Oh, I fancy a hot dog now. Shouldn't really have a hot dog at 10 past 10, should I? I'll let you know about Toyota as well on Tuesday. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye now.